Hi everyone, Carrie Abernathy here, and I am so excited to be with the Northwest Event Show and all of you Northwestern event professionals to talk about desire mapping for happiness in our professional and personal lives. So a little bit about who I am before we dive into the presentation today. Again, my name is Carrie Abernathy, and I am a meeting planner. I've been in the hospitality industry for over 15 years, but I also have a psychology background and love diving into all things human behavior. I'm also co-founder of the Association for Women in Events, and I'm a podcast host of two shows, one Events from Black to White that dives into everything to do with equality in the events industry, and also the recently launched Like an Event Boss. So let's start with the question you're probably wondering, we didn't tease it up so much, what the heck is desire mapping? And desire mapping actually comes from Danielle Lepore's book, The Desire Map, which I highly suggest you go and purchase because we're just going to be scratching the surface here. We're not doing a very big deep dive, but as you can see, this is a pretty big book. It has a workbook to kind of walk you through the desire mapping process. But desire mapping at its core is an exercise in giving you some clarity into what you truly love and how you truly want to feel and your desires and how to bring that to your daily life, but also, more importantly, how to bring that to your professional life. And it really breaks down to that fundamental question of what do you, as a human, not as a meeting planner, not as a mom, not as a daughter, not as a friend, but what do you really love? And you may think you know, but a lot of us don't spend much time really thinking about what we love outside of our daily routine. We get into routines with our work, with our families, where we just start doing things because that's the way it's always been done, and we continue to do things, and we don't really question what we really love. So to get you started, you need to pose that question to yourself. And it's been a really interesting time during this pandemic over the last 12 months because a lot of us have had the opportunity to step back. Our jobs have slowed down, or perhaps we've been furloughed or laid off, or we're just kind of doing that soul searching that we haven't been able to do in the past because we have fallen into those routines. So if you haven't already, now is the time to think about what you actually love. And outside of that, what are you actually good at? And who you are. And again, for me, this was really taking a step back from my persona as a meeting professional, which bled into all parts of my life, which bled into my personal life. And I had categorized myself as a meeting planner first. But I had to take a step back and ask myself, who am I outside of my profession? Who am I outside of my job? Who am I outside of constantly being available for other people, for attendees, for stakeholders, for my family, for my job? What am I good at, and what do I actually like to do? And most importantly, how do I want to feel every single day, not just at my job? And this one is really important because I often talk to people that I coach about, not a perfect job description, not writing that perfect job description, because a lot of us want to do that. We want to sit down and we want to say, okay, I want this type of boss and I want to do this type of work but stripping all of that back and making a list on how you want to feel and how you don't want to feel when you wake up every day, when you go and exercise, when you walk into your job or go to your desk in the morning. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel trusted by those that have employed you or hired you? Do you want to feel valued What is the most important to you? And I suggest you make a list and you have that hierarchy so that you can understand not what you want to do, but how you want to feel doing it and how you want others to make you feel and how you want your clients and your managers and your bosses to make you feel. Again, we're looking for that clarity. We're looking for that clarity on what we love and how we want to feel each day. And so that's really, really interesting, right? Because it probably pushes you outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And I'm asking all of you to lean into a little bit of discomfort here. Because for so long, for so many years, if you're like me, you have been taught to keep your feelings and desires outside of your job. You have been taught to leave the emotions at home. Perhaps if you're a female, you've been taught that feelings don't have a place in the workplace, that it makes you less desirable, that if you feel passionately about something, it could come across as anger or something else, or. And we're asking you to take that moment to be vulnerable and to bring authenticity back to the workplace and to bring your feelings and your desires back into your workplace. Because guess what? When you're your most authentic you, and when you're your most vulnerable you, and when you're the whole holistic version of you at work and at home, you're better. You're better for your stakeholders. You're better for your clients. You're better at your events. If you can find a way to truly love what you do and to truly feel good and happy in every single day, you are going to be the best version of yourself. And I promise you, no one will be asking you to keep that outside of work. And we've seen a really big shift in the last year, I believe, in the last 12 months plus, about being able to bring you and your personality and everything you're worth and your values and your life into the workplace, and how that actually makes us better. So a lot of us, this may seem conceptually really beautiful, and it may make a lot of sense, but since the pandemic, a lot of us have felt really stuck. And yeah, it may sound great to make lists, but how do you really become unparalyzed and unstuck if you're feeling like, yeah, I maybe know what I want, or I'm going to get to that place where I know what I want, but I don't know what to do with it. And a few things that I've done over the last 12 months that have really helped me kind of put one foot in front of the other and just like start moving again I've started talking to successful people in my network and outside of my network. And I will tell you, in the last 12 months, even being at home, even through the pandemic, my network has grown exponentially through the power of LinkedIn, through the power of Facebook groups, through the power of just reaching out to people and making time for more people in higher positions than me and lower positions than me, all across the board in different sectors in the meetings industry. And more importantly, outside of my network, I've reached out to coaches and resiliency experts and keynote speakers and had a lot of really incredible conversations that have helped me kind of figure out what the next version of me is and what I'm good at and what I love and what I really want to feel. And I tapped into those experts. So I highly suggest you reach out to people that inspire you. Why not reach out to someone who has done a TED Talk that you love, or you've seen a commercial of them, or whatever it is? Why not reach out to them? The worst you can get is a no, or no answer whatsoever. But I think you'll be surprised to see that most people are really willing to talk to you and to have that conversation, especially right now. Another great way for you to become unparalyzed and unstuck right now is to utilize that time if you have extra time. Some of us don't. Some of us have gone into overdrive and we're caretakers and we're home all of the time and we have our children all of the time. But I will always preach that it's so important that you invest in yourself, that you make time for you, and you make time for your real desires, because shoving them deep down is not bringing the best version of you for your family, for those that you take care of, for anyone. So the sooner that you map those out and the sooner that you become aware of those, the better that you become for everyone. So hopefully you do have a little bit more time, or you can carve out some time for yourself and use that time to research. Look into the things that you've always wanted to do, but maybe you've been scared to do. For me, last May, that was starting a blog that turned into much more. It's called A Woman with Drive, and it ties in my love of golf and all things leadership together. And a few short months later, Golf and Travel magazine reached out to me to write an article for them. And now I'm writing for that publication and several others, and I'm speaking, and it's completely changed my life. And I'm still a full-time meeting planner, but I'm tapping into things that I want to do, and not just hobbies, but things that really give me energy and fill my cup up. And I think for a long time I was doing what I was doing because it brought in a paycheck, and that's what I was supposed to be doing. But I didn't realize that it was sapping my energy, and that I needed to invest in hobbies and side projects and things that really gave energy back to me as well. So use this time to research. Use this time to sign up for projects. I signed up for a great group that put on the Age of Conversation Summit for meeting professionals last fall, and I was able to spend 6 weeks volunteering my time with people to put together an incredible event for meeting planners, but just something that really enlightened me and taught me new skills and got me into the virtual world of events and shifted my skill set and shifted my mindset. So if you have time, research, sign up, become a part of something that scares you. Lean into that fear. Maybe do something that scares you. I hated public speaking. And I was founder of the Association for Women in Events, so I was always in the spotlight. But I never loved it, and I never took time to hone those skills. So maybe during this time where we're apart from each other and you can do things a little bit differently, maybe lean into something that scares you. And if you're, thinking about shifting to another organization, or you're looking for a job, or you're desire mapping because you want to figure out if you want to stay in the events industry, take this time to also think about what skills translate to other industries. I always say low-hanging fruit is that you're a project manager, you're a logistics manager at your core if you're in the meetings industry. And that translates through so many different organizations and across so many different sectors. So, think about that. If you are in a place where you need money, also think about what you can do right now. If you need money, pick up a side hustle, pick up something temporarily so you can still foster your desires and your loves. But, a lot of us don't have the privilege of having a full-time job or having the funds to dive into a passion project or something we love. So make sure you're supporting yourself and your family first, and make sure you're doing something for you. And as I said before, make sure that you're making time to really take care of yourself. And I love this because it's so true. 100%. You will 100% miss out on opportunities that you don't try for. So maybe while you're thinking about your desires and what you love, you think, wow, I really love X, Y, and Z, but I haven't done it a lot in my job, and I'm not a professional in it, and I'm not a subject matter expert, and no one's coming to me as someone that has 15 years doing X, Y, and Z. But you should apply for jobs that you feel at least 85% qualified for, maybe 75% qualified for. You don't know who's going to give you that opportunity. You don't know who's going to see your untapped potential. You don't know who's going to see your heart and your passion and your drive and want to give you the opportunity to go there and live your passion and live your dream. So don't be scared. The worst that can happen is no. And guess what? You're going to fail. We all fail. Get comfortable with failure. Get comfortable with the no. This is a great time to get comfortable with the no. Reach out to all of the people. Reach out to your network. Send out your resume. Reach out to people that are doing what you want to do. And all they can do is say no. nothing is going to happen. Go for those opportunities. And it gets easier. Once you've heard no a few times, it gets easier and it makes the yeses that much better. So really what I'm asking you to do here is to find your passion. You have to think about what you love. If you're going to monetize it and you need to make money, or you want to make it your full-time job, you need to think about what pays well, what pays at all. And you need to think about what you're good at. So you probably have what you're good at down. You're probably an excellent meeting planner. You're probably a grade A professional organizer, type A personality, really good cat wrangler. So you probably got that down. And, you're probably looking for the other two. So really think about what you love. And if you need to monetize it, think about what pays well. And you need to think about all of those three things together. So again, the desire map will help get you there. This is just a sneak peek of all of the principles that are in here in the guiding workbook. So again, Danielle Lepore with the desire map. Highly suggest that you purchase it. A keynote speaker and friend sent it to me, and it really, really changed my life for the better. And it got me to a place where I found a little bit more happiness. So I'd like to end with this. Happiness is not just a place, but also a process. Happiness is an ongoing process of fresh challenges and attitudes and activities to continue to be happy. So I've given you a little bit of the activity side of things, something that you can do to get yourself unstuck and to move forward and to tap in those desires. And it's up to you to bring the attitude and to find your happy. So thank you so much. I really loved being able to share a little bit of this with you, but I do hope you reach out to me for more information. You can find me at Carrie@awomanwithdrive.com, on Instagram @womanwithdrive. Also, like an event boss, subscribe to the podcast. We're here with you every Wednesday, and I really appreciate the time to be here with the Northwest Event Show. Thanks, everyone.